Men wanted to not teach women to be submissive, but to remind them that there are moments in relationship where they need to be submissive. This isn't a clown or a disrespect thing on women. It's because it's in our nature as human beings. Men are the protectors. If there is something wrong with our woman, if something happens to her, something attacks her, if she gets kidnapped, it is the duty of the man to defend her, find her, take care of her, protect her, shield her. Hey everyone, welcome to the Game Plan channel. I'm Lorenzo. If you're new here, please like, comment, and subscribe. I would appreciate that if you like the content. Today, I'm going to be reacting to some funny video here. A CNN segment. This woman dated only far-right men for a year. And she says they were so insecure. Now, just to give you guys a heads up, I may be pausing a lot in this video because I need to say certain things. I've kind of seen a little bit of this video already, so that's why I'm saying this. So if you don't like me pausing, you don't have to watch this video. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get to it. It's gonna be pretty funny, in my opinion, because people make some stupid choices. But let's check this out. And oh, before I start, she's saying far right men. So just like far left people, there's also crazy far right people. Men, women, whatever. If you're far whatever, you're a little bit crazy. You're too radical. In my opinion. This is my opinion. All right, let's check out this video. Let's see what you guys think about it.
CNN's Donny O'Sullivan got in the cage with former UFC star turned podcaster Jake Shields to explore the manosphere and why exactly it's so popular.
They speak liberal, they have liberal friends, and then they go online and they are a white supremacist.
This is Vera Papasova. She spent the last year dating far-right men in New York City for a story for Cosmopolitan magazine.
They're the most insecure men I've ever sat down with. It was really difficult to have some of these dates because they were so insecure, because they don't really know who they are and they don't know how to figure that out.
She said the men she dated got all their news and information from...
That's like in the DNA of women, she just said. And she said they, like 100 times. I'm going to see how many times she says it in this entire video, they. How about you take responsibility for yourself? Maybe you are a problem too. Maybe there's something you lacked.
From the so-called manosphere.
They did not listen to anything else. They're only listening to independent media, and they're only listening to men talking to men.
The manosphere is made up of macho podcasters and influencers.
There's no such thing as an independent female.
Most women have zero concept of like money.
Females don't have independent thought.
It's a space where you...
Okay, I don't agree with that. I mean, Andrew Tate, I've seen him online. He's definitely far right. He's a little too radical for me. He thinks he's a little too much. If you guys actually know who Andrew Tate is, I've seen him in multiple interviews with Candace Owens so many different people he's been on shows with, and just the way he carries himself, he tries to act like he's the top shit of the world. Like his shit don't stink. Like he's retarded. He's too much.
UFC fighters are among those who reign supreme.
They love the UFC guys. They love the MMA guys because those guys do what they can. They're modern gladiators. They're badass.
Badass like Jake Shields, a former UFC star turned podcaster.
Sorry. Now I'm starting to feel nervous.
What does this have to
Thanks
do
for having
with
us.
Jake?
Who I met at an MMA gym in Las Vegas.
Like all great MMA pros. I've never hit anyone in my life.
I'm not punching back, hit me. No, I sit right here. KO, KO, KO.
This is CNN. Do you miss being full-time pro, like in terms
Oh
of?
yeah, you know, of course I miss it. To go from professional athlete, which is the highest of highs, to retirement.
And I
You have
guess
to
the
podcast has helped.
Did he say professional athlete, the highest of highs? I think that's stupid to say. The highest of high is serving this country, in my opinion, because you actually have the balls to put yourself in positions where it could possibly cost you your life. Yeah, going into an octagon and punching people around could also cost you your life, but you're doing that intentionally because you know what's happening. When you're an actual soldier or somebody that's out there on a battlefield, you're going into an unknown, not sure if you're going to make it another day. So that's kind of stupid for him to say that. I mean, I could see how they're trying to push this segment in a way of like, okay, let's interview this guy, Jake Shields, because he seems a little too far right, and let's get him to say some shit that is going to agree with this segment. This is what CNN does, and this is why I don't like CNN, but let's react to this stupid crap.
You could fall into depression if you just go from the most amazing career where you're famous and spotlights to all of a sudden you're a nobody.
Sure.
Like other podcasters in the manosphere, Jake regularly hosts controversial guests.
And I named the podcast Fighting Back. I feel like we have to fight back what we're told we're allowed to do. I just don't like to be told you're not allowed to talk to this person. Like, why can't I talk to him? I'm not saying I agree with his ideology, but I should hear what he has to say.
He's hosted the former Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan.
Today I have a very special guest, Dr. David Duke. I knew you're controversial, but I had no idea how controversial.
And Thomas Russo, the leader of the white supremacist group Patriot Front.
Let's go where we disagree a little bit.
Yes, sure.
Let's hit race, because you're a white-only group?
So the organization only allows people of American ethnicity, and all Americans, I believe, come from Europe, so they're white.
The true heirs of the American spirit fight on!
Now I can really see why they chose Jake Shields. I don't even know who the hell he was until now. And I briefly watched UFC. Okay, he said that, people, they don't, what did he say? Fuck.
White-only group.
So the organization
Leader of the white supremacist.
Very special guest, Dr. David.
He's hosted the former.
I'm not saying I agree with his ideology. I told you you're not allowed to talk to this person. Like, why can't I talk to him? I'm not.
It's not that you're not allowed to speak to anybody that has different views, but what is the intentions? What's the goal of interviewing somebody that has a different point of view that's very radical in the sense of people, a group of people only preaching that only white people should be here? What is the outcome? You need to preface that before speaking or introducing an interview about it. I'm hoping he did that and said something, because what is the point? And I've seen other YouTubers besides, white guys trying to interview people from the KKK. I've seen black people on YouTube trying to go to cities that are like the most racist cities in America to try to, what's the end goal? What is the purpose? Are you trying to change their mindset? Are you trying to just get clicks to better your channel? Like, what is the intentions? There's no solutions to a lot of the things that some of these people do. And CNN, it's pretty easy. They don't know what the hell they're doing.
I'm not saying I agree with his ideology.
Vera says hate isn't what the men she dated were really looking for.
One of these guys brought me to a political meeting.
And did they talk about politics?
Barely. They talked about, it was a bunch of men complaining about girlfriends and wives, regurgitating Andrew Tate type of advice about how to train your girlfriend, how to train your wife to be submissive. And so this group was supposed to be a political group, but they're talking about relationship problems. And the fact that that's what most of the time was spent on, you don't need to be a neo-Nazi. You need therapy. You have to incentivize someone to want to be better. You can't just say, let's make men better. The thing about these guys is their biggest support system is online, but that also is very isolating, and isolation is what breeds hatred.
Groups like Patriot Front offer community, but community based on racism and hate.
People have to really think about, do you have the capacity to talk to people that you don't agree with? Because that one nice conversation you might have might change someone's day enough to not have to seek out help in an online support group, which is actually a bunch of white supremacists using political beliefs as an excuse for how they feel.
Tony O'Sullivan.
That's kind of crazy how she's spinning the dating of men on the far right to a political route, rather than what the root cause of why men are being the way they are as of late. Well, especially in New York. I mean, you're choosing to date in New York, which is a liberal-ass state. So if you happen to find somebody that's on the right or far right in New York, they are basically fucked up in the head dealing with so many far leftists in the state, the sanctuary cities. I mean, sanctuary state, basically. In my opinion, I think she needs to look in the mirror a little bit more and also understand the perspective of regular men that are on the left or the right. Well, that's a totally different story. I'll have to save it for another day. But if she's speaking on regular men that aren't so radical, then she needs to look in the mirror. She needs to be speaking about why a lot of women are also choosing the internet to, I don't know, expose themselves on porn websites or, you know, what's that one? The OnlyFans. Like, I didn't even know that existed until about like a year ago, and it's been around for I don't even know how long. And it's gotten to the point where now when you're dating, it's like you have to ask these women, do you have an OnlyFans, or have you ever had an OnlyFans? And as soon as you say yes, you are not a credible woman that could be a mother to my children. That's my opinion. And a good, real man would say this. If there's a man out there that says, "Oh, you're on OnlyFans," "Oh yeah, okay, yeah, oh that sounds great, that's great. Let's date, let's talk." What? They're not in for something serious. And I'm just being honest. They're not looking for something serious. I know my kind. I know my kind so much to say that if you're someone that's okay with a woman that has exposed herself, her body, her flesh to the world to see, there is nothing sacred of that woman anymore. She's totally lost. She's totally lost on the internet. She's totally lost in her mind. And that's not something a good, real man is going to want to have to live the rest of his days with. And, you know, it makes sense why she says a lot of these men are trying to train or teach women to be more submissive. It's because back in the day, we didn't have this internet. We didn't have social media. We didn't have things like OnlyFans or these Tinder dating apps or Snapchat, which is the stupidest app that ever existed. There's no reason for an app to basically send messages that delete right away. What is the point of that? That is making people not trust other people. It's stupid to me. Another thing is men wanted to not teach women to be submissive, but to remind them that there are moments in relationship where they need to be submissive. This isn't a clown or a disrespect thing on women. It's because it's in our nature as human beings. Men are the protectors. If there is something wrong with our woman, if something happens to her, something attacks her, if she gets kidnapped, it is the duty of the man to defend her, find her, take care of her, protect her, shield her, make sure she's fed, make sure she has the ability to have nice clothes and things. Women take that for granted nowadays, and they try to flip it in a way where they're like, oh, they think I'm nothing. Men think I'm nothing. They think I have to be submissive, or I can't be independent. No, it has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. And it makes sense why the far right men are being very abrasive with it and saying straight up to them, to their faces. Because I've heard this from females have told me on dates that they've had with recent men. And they're saying, yeah, on our first date, he was telling me I needed to, basically, I'm going to be cleaning the house. I'm going to be doing this, and that. And this is our first date. And I'm like, yeah, he's a little bit too far gone. He's too far right. He's too far ahead of himself because he knows what he wants. But it's hard for certain men to communicate this type of information to women without having the woman feel like they're getting put underwater, I guess you could say. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, I have a lot more to say about this, and I hope I didn't leave anything out. But if I do and you guys comment, I'll definitely say something else to clarify if there's anything I missed. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like and subscribe. I would appreciate it. Till next time. Peace out, everybody.